So in our last video, which is going to be linked down below, we touched on winter sowing and showed some of the examples of last year's winter sowing successes, which was the kale out in our front garden. So today we're going to show you how it is that we did it, and we have a little helper who's going to be joining us, and we're going to show how you can incorporate kids into the winter sowing process. What is winter sowing? Winter sowing is sowing seeds in a little mini greenhouse and putting them outside in the cold weather. Oftentimes we still have snow. This will typically happen towards the end of February, beginning of March. Some people even do it right up in January. What happens is that the little containers that we use act as greenhouses to insulate and create a microclimate for the seeds that we are starting, and the opening in the top allows water in. We'll put some drainage holes in the bottom to let water run out so that nothing is pooling and ponding inside, and then we let nature pick when the seeds are going to sprout. So as the sun changes, gets longer in the days, as the temperature starts to change along with other things, the seeds will naturally germinate. This also works really well for seeds that require stratification. Instead of keeping them in the fridge, you can just plant them directly outside when it is still cold, and you will get the same effect. What is great about this method of starting seeds is, for beginners especially, you don't need any fancy equipment. So what you're going to need are clear or mostly translucent jugs, such as this, that are going to provide enough headspace above the soil and the seedlings for some decent airflow. You're going to need some potting soil, preferably without any added fertilizers, so that they are gentle on the seedlings and the sprouts. You can use a seedling mix or just a basic potting soil. Just read some labels, and you are going to want to have that pre-moistened so that it's easier to get things started. Going to need some duct tape and a sharp knife to complete your greenhouse, a permanent marker to label your greenhouse so you know what it is that you planted, and some cold hardy seeds. So the seeds that we have chosen here are a mix of leafy greens such as Swiss chard, lettuce, kale, some arugula, some parsley as well, and then we're going to be doing 3 flowers. We're going to do a columbine, some pansies, and some calendula. I'll provide a link below that has a really comprehensive list of seeds that will work for this. You will not be needing any special equipment, which is wonderful for this. You don't need any grow lights, any heat mats, you don't need any seedling starter trays. You really just need a little greenhouse, some seeds, some dirt, and the outside. The other great thing about this process is that there is no hardening off period. So a lot of times when you start seeds inside, you would like a red. Here's a red one. When you're starting seeds off inside, you will then need to harden them off, gradually moving them outside so that they can transition to the environment out there. By doing winter sowing, there is no hardening off period. They are already acclimatized to the outside. You just pop the little canopy on our greenhouses, and they'll be ready to plant directly into the ground as of May. It is different from sowing seeds directly in that there is no need to wait for the ground to thaw or dry up. The other benefit is it doesn't take up any space inside the house. So as a gardener who likes to start many different types of seeds, we often run into a space issue because you can start the seeds in the little starter cells, but then you'll have to upplant them into bigger containers, and that begins to take up a lot of space. This requires 0 internal space for storage. You don't need to worry about any hydro costs or anything else along those lines. So it's a really cost-effective, easy, foolproof method for sowing seeds in the Canadian climate, which is you're going to have about a third to halfway soil, and then put your seeds in there. We're going to be slicing around the middle just so that we can access and easily put in the dirt, because to put it in the top is quite challenging. And we're going to have a little helper who is going to help us with decorating the jugs and then also filling them with the dirt and taking everything back up. So if this sounds like an interesting project for you, I hope you can keep on watching. So to start, we're going to be cutting some drainage holes into the bottom of each of our jugs, and then cutting a slice along the middle so that we can actually access the plant material within. Now when you're slicing along the side, you're going to want to leave a little hinge so that it makes taping it back up much easier at the end of the process. We're going to use the dirt and we're going to fill up the container here. Okay? Can you scoop? Can you use this and scoop and put it in here? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, you do that for Mama. Yeah. Need some help? We gotta scoop it like that. There you go. Yeah, see, this is why we don't want your blanket up here. Can we put this down? Just right there. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Are you dancing in the dirt? Yeah. More.
More.
More. Scoop. Good job. That should be good. Oh, you like those ones? We can do the other ones next. We'll put a few in here though, okay? Those.
Mama.
Yeah, okay, wait. We're gonna put these in here. Can you put them in there for Mama? Right in the bottom, put them in the dirt. Can you do that for Mama? Yes. A few more. There's still a few more in Mama's hand. Can you get those ones too? Put them in there. Yes. And we'll do the rest, okay? Well done. We're gonna push, 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 push.
Push, push, push.
Push, push, push. Okay?
Done.
All done. Oh, still have a few more in Mama's hand. There we go. Well done. Thank you for your help.
Down.
Yep, you can go down. So I'm going to quickly whip through and do the last few of these, possibly with or without the help of the toddler. She seems more interested in drawing on paper at the moment. And we're gonna have all 9 of these planted up, and odds are I will end up doing some more later on as I dig out more seeds. And then we will simply just place them out in a sunny spot in the garden, not under any overhangs or protected canopies of any sort. We want it exposed to the elements so it can collect the water and the rain, and also get some full sun. But ideally as close to its final resting place as possible so that it is well adapted. I hope you found this helpful and insightful into what winter sowing is and how to do it and incorporate kids into the process. And you will tune back in for another video next time. Thank you.